pure and drink responsibly. Last week, the Pelicans hired David Griffin as the head of basketball operations, and his first task is to keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans. AD requested a trade earlier this year, but Griffin said he spoke to AD's agent, Rich Paul, and, quote, "We're both excited about what we can potentially build here." Griffin added that he has a great relationship with Clutch Sports going back to his days with LeBron in Cleveland. Chris Broussard is still with us. And Chris, could you see AD actually wanting to stay in New Orleans?
No.
Not even a little.
Now, look, David Griffin is right to take this approach, and he hasn't sat down with Anthony Davis yet. He's obviously talked to Rich Paul, as he said, and he's taking the right approach. And at your opening press conference, that's what you want to exude, confidence. This is what we're going to do. But here's the money quote. This is the quote everybody needs to look at from David Griffin. "You are either all the way in or you are all the way out, and there is no in between." I do believe, I've known Griff for a long time, since he was working in the public relations department in the Phoenix Suns organization. Wow. Okay? He means that. But that also gives him an out for when they do have to trade Anthony Davis. Because here's the fact. Anthony Davis is not going to be all the way in. At best, and I mean at best, what Anthony Davis will tell you is if Griff really gets through to him, you know, barring some super trade, like unrealistic trade where they bring in Damian Lillard or somebody like that, okay? Barring anything unrealistic, Anthony Davis at best will say to Griff, all right, let's see what happens this year. Let's see what you can do this summer, this fall to make us better and see if we can have a great year. At best, that's what he'll give him. But Griff knows, look, the number one thing right now for me to succeed at this job is Anthony Davis. He's my number one asset, ideally as a player long-term in New Orleans. But secondly, if not as a player, then as a trade asset. And that could be that trade could set New Orleans up for future success. If you get Jason Tatum and some draft picks, or you get Zion Williamson, or whatever you get, Griff knows either with Anthony or without him, he is the key to my success. So he cannot afford to say, okay, let's see what happens this season. Because then Anthony Davis can walk at the end of the season.
Nothing.
And even at the trade deadline, by that point, you'll be desperate. And teams will know you got to get rid of him, so we're going to lowball you. So Griff understands. Now, if by chance Anthony Davis said, I'm all the way in, yeah, that's great. But he's not. At best, he's going to be, I'll give you a chance, and we'll see this year. And Griff just can't afford to do that, so I don't think he can keep him.
Any building that's going to take place is going to take place with young pieces that they get from the Anthony Davis trade. It's not going to be with that center stone. That's not going to happen, Skip. He's made it abundantly clear. And I don't think you can have him back. After what's been done, after what he said, remember he showed up in the shirt, that's all, folks. And they played the guy 20 minutes moving forward. He wanted to play, they said, nah, you ain't want to play with us early in the year. You wanted out. So just what we're going to do. Because they wanted to set him, and the NBA says if you set him and he's healthy, it's $100,000 a game. Well, they didn't want to pay that, so they played him 20 minutes. Skip, it's over. It's done. He's gone. So, and what was Griff supposed to say? Yeah, oh, yeah, we want him thinking all the time. We trade this, but I'm going to get as much as I possibly can for him. I know he doesn't want to be here. And Skip, he's made it abundantly clear. It's not about money. It's about his legacy. He wants to go somewhere, possibly to an iconic franchise, purple and gold, and compete for a title.
Once upon a time.
That doesn't stop.
Feels like a long
The bridge started on this at AD, New Orleans, and both of them set it on fire. It's over.
What's that big bridge in New Orleans called? I can't remember.
Lake Pontchartrain.
Lake Pontchartrain.
Bridges don't burn that way necessarily.
Yeah, well, he set his end on fire, I set my end on fire. So guess what?
The bridge is over, right?
Yeah, it's kaput. You know it.
I don't know it. David Griffin is a game changer for New Orleans. He's a life changer for that franchise. And the addition of him, the acquisition of him, went a little under the radar because there was so much else flying around. There was so much negativity coming out of Lakerland that kind of overshadowed a huge nuclear move that New Orleans pulled off to replace Dell Demps with this guy who's highly respected. I think he gained respect on NBA TV with all of his analysis. And all of a sudden things are going to start to change there because he will have a game plan that he will be able to sell through Rich Paul because he gets along very well with Rich Paul, right? They got along famously in Cleveland.
He don't get along with better with Rich Paul than LeBron get along with Rich Paul.
Okay.
Who you think get along with better, Chris?
So I'm going to remind everyone, just for the record, it's going to cost Anthony Davis about $90 million to leave New Orleans. And if he's good with that, I'm good with it.
He's great with it.
It's a lot of money to stay.
Get it out here in L.A.
And I'm going to remind everybody, Drew Holiday is really good.
I agree.
He is really a good two-way
And really
guard.
stay hurt.
Okay, but when he's right, he's really right. And Julius Randle was a monster this year. And again, they're going to have to keep him. But if they keep him for something, all of a sudden, I still think there'd be one more slot in there. So what if you could fit one more superstar?
Skip, you gonna have
what if you could?
Hold on, you gonna have AD on a max contract at 5 years, 250
Yeah, but
or
you get to
240.
keep him.
Okay, you got Holiday who's on a max. What you think Julius Randle gonna give him a hometown discount? He's
So
gonna
you're
get
saying
max
this
out.
summer they sign a free agent?
What if they did? Because there's some quirky superstars on the market this time. What if that number 2 up in Toronto just said, you know what, I want to play
ain't
with
going
Anthony
nowhere.
Davis? I'm just saying. What if he did?
I mean,
Okay, what if he did?
yeah. If Kawhi Leonard went there, I
Okay.
think they could probably keep him. But
All right,
I just don't
so
see
what
that
if they
happening.
pull that off? Would you not like that? And by the way, they have a lottery pick this time. They do have a lottery pick. I'm just saying, they do. So all of a sudden, you'd be looking at this team like, oh.
But
Kawhi-
Skip, this is unrealistic
No,
stuff.
it's
You
not.
know
No, it's
Kawhi Leonard is not going to New
Okay,
Orleans.
well, I don't know that because who knows what he might
He
do.
didn't want to stay in New Orleans. He didn't want to stay in San Antonio.
Well,
One thing I will
does he want to play alongside Anthony Davis? He
play
might.
alongside.
What I will say is this, Skip. I do agree. Look, I look at their roster, and I don't think it's nearly as bad as apparently Anthony Davis thinks.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Julius Randle is pretty good. They traded Mirotic, but I thought he was valuable.
I did too.
They have a problem in their training, and maybe Griff will get rid of that. But their strength and condition, guys are hurt too much.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, Drew is really good. They shouldn't have let Rondo go, but maybe Griff can get that type of point
Maybe.
guard in. Elfrid Payton was all right when he wasn't hurt. I mean, so I hear you on that. Like, I don't look at the roster but as that bad, but AD still wanted to go.
One out.
Like, if AD wanted to stay, they went to the second round of the playoffs 2 years ago with the same batch minus Rajon Rondo, but you brought in Payton to replace him. A 50-game stretch where they went 22 and 28 convinced Anthony Davis, this isn't the place for me. We don't have enough. That tells me he just doesn't want to be there.
Okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Is it a New Orleans thing? Does he just not buy into the
I mean,
city?
I love
He
New
might
Orleans.
just
I've been
want
to
a
New
bigger
Orleans,
city, or
beignets. Ooh, them beignets.
You know what? I love New Orleans. Is it the
Love
same
it.
after Katrina? I don't know. Did it lose some of its
It's not
sparkle?
L.A. It's not L.A.
Well, okay.
It's not New
Definitely
York.
not LA, but it has a lot of flair.
Yeah, but
There's a lot of
Anthony
I think
Davis
he
don't care about
does,
flair.
regardless of what he's saying publicly, I think he does want to be in a big market.
Yes.
I really do.
Yes.
Okay.
Whether it's in New York and L.A., I mean, Boston, he's saying he doesn't
What's
want
that
to go
grin
there.
for?
God. At the end of the day, you know what?
You
They
have
don't-
to trade for him. You can't just snap
Chris,
your
you know what
fingers.
they did? A lot of people have gone out of their way to put mountains in front of us.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, when it's all he gonna be able to look from New Orleans and see clear to LA. That's where my destination is.
Okay. David Griffin is not going to get hijacked in some trade.
No,
He's not.
We wasn't trying to hide. We wasn't trying to hide that Dale Demps. He was trying to pull one over on us. Give us 4 first rounders
He
and yada yada.
He wasn't trying to do
He was just
anything
saying,
with
no,
y'all.
no,
right.
no,
He
no.
was like,
Yeah.
look, here's the thing. Griff is, as much as he gets along with Clutch and Rich Paul, he's not going to try to do the Lakers any favors. He is not going to do that. They may have to pull off a 3 or 4 team deal to get Anthony Davis. And right now, who in that front office is capable of doing that? Teams don't want to deal with Rob Pelinka. So
That's
you
what
gonna really be able to put together a 3 or 4 team deal that can get other guys in?
That's what Jeannie needs to understand. She keep on
Right.
talking about this Rich Paul and this LeBron and Clutch. You need to worry about that. Magic Johnson laid it out. He says a lot of backstabbing, a lot of talking behind that's unnecessary. You need to worry about what you got.
Well, do you don't think Anthony's having second thoughts? Like
No.
he's watching the negativity, the fallout, the toxicity, saying, do I really want to live in that?
Yeah, he want to live in it. Because I think he got a place out here, too.
Maybe.
He's got to at least.
So why would David Griffin say at his opening press conference, Rich Paul is genuinely excited about this situation?
Yes.
Wow. Is that a lie?
Because you know what?
No,
Because he's in a win-win. He's the agent. AD gonna get paid regardless. He stays there. He gets $240. He moves on. He gets $190. So he can't lose. And plus, he's gonna get the shape. He's like, look, I'm telling you where my guy wants to go. Now, y'all, listen to me. I'm the captain. My guy wants to go to L.A. Irish. He wants to go to L.A., David Griffin. Now, do us this side.